I'm Kane. I'm 37 years old, and exactly 1 week ago, my divorce became final. I need you to hear what I'm about to say, because it might save you years of your life. Not because my story is dramatic or scandalous, but because it's ordinary, and that's exactly why it matters. January 1st, 2026. That was the date on the papers. My ex-husband, Matt, asked for that specific date so we could file taxes jointly one more year. He owns a small business, and it would save him money. I agreed. Even at the end, we were still making small compromises. That's how reasonable we were, how civilized, how completely devastatingly disconnected. The divorce was my decision, a complete leap of faith. I'm a mom to a 4-year-old daughter. I haven't worked in years. I'm a registered nurse, but I quit during the pandemic to get pregnant. We didn't need my income. Matt was successful. We were comfortable. More than comfortable. On paper, I had everything: a beautiful child, financial security, a husband who wasn't cruel or abusive or unfaithful. And I walked away anyway. Most people won't understand that. When I told friends and family, I could see the confusion in their eyes. They kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. There had to be something, some betrayal, some terrible secret. But there wasn't. And somehow, that made it harder to explain. It started falling apart when my daughter was born. The pregnancy was easy. The birth was easy. I was lucky in ways I couldn't even count. But the moment she arrived, something inside me shattered. The postpartum anxiety came like a flood. I had always been anxious, but motherhood amplified it to levels I didn't know existed. I went into complete control mode. I stopped trusting myself. I gave all my power to books, articles, expert opinions, anything that promised to tell me how to be a good mother. Sleep became impossible, not because my daughter didn't sleep, she did, in 3 to 4 hour stretches, but because I couldn't. I would lie awake next to her bassinet, staring into the darkness, completely alert, unable to let go. I only passed out from pure exhaustion, maybe for an hour before she woke again. Matt was oblivious. He didn't trust his intuition either. He told himself he was doing his job, providing, being physically present, making money. In his mind, that was enough. He couldn't see me drowning, and I didn't know how to ask for help. When I tried, my tone was harsh and judgmental. I chipped away at his confidence without meaning to. He felt desperate too. He didn't know what to do. We completely lost each other. We became less than roommates. It took a full year before I started to feel like myself again. I had been in therapy the whole time, except for a 6-week break right after giving birth. Those therapy sessions, the ability to work on myself during that first year, were the greatest gift Matt ever gave me. He never knew it. After my daughter turned 1, I made it my mission to save the marriage. I worked endlessly with my therapist to become a better partner. Motherhood was growing on me, and I felt capable of being a better wife. For 2 more years, I went to therapy religiously, sometimes with Matt, sometimes without him. I tried everything, every book, every technique, every compromise. And then I had to face the truth I'd been avoiding. My marriage was over. I was emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My body started screaming at me. I got sick repeatedly. Ear infections so painful, I ended up in urgent care, crying from the pain. I was beating a dead horse, and my body was begging me to wake up. There was no intimacy left. The only love I felt for Matt was familial, like the love you feel for a brother or a parent. Warm but distant, safe but empty. Asking for the divorce was the hardest thing I've ever done. I thought it would destroy me. From the outside, it looked insane. Matt was supportive. He loved our daughter, he made great money, we had stability, we had a nuclear family. Why would anyone walk away from that? But my therapist asked me something I'll never forget. Would you rather your daughter grow up in one home with married parents who love her but aren't happy, or 2 homes with divorced parents who are both happy? She was right. I was painfully unhappy. And if my daughter grew up watching us, she'd learn that relationships look like coexistence. No intimacy, no affection, no small moments of love. I want more for her. I want her to know real love, the kind with hand-holding, spontaneous kisses, happiness, and intimacy. Matt and I couldn't show her that together. I'm now legally divorced, 7 months separated, and I cannot begin to explain the happiness and self fulfillment I've already experienced. It's fresh, but I feel like a new person, and I see Matt thriving too. We've maintained a friendship and an amicable separation. Our daughter is thriving. I'll always be grateful to Matt for everything he provided and for giving me the time to raise our daughter without working. Those years were one of the greatest gifts of my life. I'll go back to work soon. My daughter turned 4 last September. She may never remember this time we had together, but I always will. Here's what I need you to understand. Leaving a marriage doesn't require catastrophe. It doesn't require cheating or abuse. Sometimes it's the right decision simply because you want to be loved, really loved. That's why I left. And it's been the best decision of my life. People ask me if I have regrets, if I'm scared, if I wonder what would have happened if I'd stayed. The answer is no, not for a second, because I know what would have happened. I would have stayed small, stayed quiet, stayed disconnected from myself and from the possibility of real love. My daughter deserves a mother who is whole, happy, and brave enough to choose herself. Not selfishly, courageously. Sometimes staying isn't the brave choice. Sometimes leaving is. I'm building a new life now. I'm terrified sometimes. Starting over at 37 with a 4-year-old isn't easy, but it's mine. And it's full of possibility in a way my marriage never was. If you're in a relationship that feels empty, even if nothing is technically wrong, listen to that feeling. Your unhappiness is reason enough. Your desire for more is valid. You don't need permission to want more from your life. You just need the courage to take the leap.